is the time.
Forever? Tangent. Old.
Halt.
Hashtag always MGM.
You are approaching the unloading area.
Calm down. AK haters.
But what if it could?
Behold the majesty of the Sistine Ceiling.
For the kids.
A salute to all theme parks, but mostly Walt Disney World.
Ha! What a cute ending.
Aloha and
Don't DIllo it.
This is Theme Park Thursday with DIllo's Diz. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and we are recording this episode 3 days before the Theme Park Thursday. It's Life Day, and I would like to wish you and yours, Jen, a happy Life Day.
Happy Life Day to you.
So, do you have your red robes out like Chewbacca and all the Wookiees?
I feel bad that I did not wear that for this recording. We should have been more prepared and come up with something and used it for footage on, for the content.
For the content. Of course, we're here to talk about Jollywood Nights. We went to opening night of Jollywood Nights. What feels like a lifetime ago already, but was actually it was on November the 8th, and Chewbacca in his Life Day garb was part of that experience. We'll get into all of that in a second, but I wanted to start off by asking Jen, now that we're 10 days away from Thanksgiving on this Life Day, when we did the Very Merry Christmas Party and when we did the Jollywood Nights, were you able to distance yourself enough from the fact that it was not even Thanksgiving yet, because you were very much when Santa Claus hits the mark on the Macy's Star at noon on Thanksgiving Day, that's it. That's when it happens.
Yeah. I mean, I know I was not alone in our group with feeling the difficulty of accepting the Christmas before Thanksgiving. And I think I found it challenging because for some reason we had our fears of it being so cold and it decided to be 85 degrees in the sun. And so that was not helping the vibes. Like when I'm like, okay, we're in Christmas gear. We're going to be selling, it's going to be Christmas everywhere. And then it's like so hot. I'm like, this is not helping. I mean, I do think Jollywood, and I think we did it right as well, of doing Very Merry first and Jollywood second. Not that we had a choice for this weekend, but I do think it was kind of the right progression and the right flow. I think the vibes at Jollywood are so good that I was like, okay, all right. I feel a little more of the holiday spirits. I mean, I will say, I will admit a few things here. Since coming home, my tree is not up. Let's not get crazy, anybody. But the kids, again, I like to say I try my best not to pass on my crazy to the kids. Some is just DNA, and I can't help that. But things like Christmas and, all right, you want to watch a Christmas movie in August? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So since returning, and more so this weekend, first of all, shout out to our friend Lee in the UK, because one year he gifted me with every version of Love Actually on VHS, DVD. I got all the things, so I am covered. But sometimes I just want to put on my TV and just find it somewhere. And I do feel like all the streaming networks get together and they go, remove it as we get closer to Christmas. And you can never find it. And I do consider Love Actually a non-Christmas movie. I feel like it is one you can watch any time of the year, but of course it leans into the Christmas. So I saw that it was on Hulu. I don't even know where it was on, but I was like, we have to watch this because I'm afraid it's going to go away. And plus we don't have time with the Hallmark and all the things. So we did watch that the other night. And then on Saturday, the 8-year-old put on Noel. And I was like, oh, Noel. I mean, that's a big one, but okay. Yeah. Okay. So we watched Noel. So, there's been these little things here and there. Papadillo's got his decorations up, looking for more decorations every day. And so it's circling me. What was your question? Did I get into the vibes, the spirit?
What did you get in? Were you in a holiday bubble enough in the Disney
I
bubble?
mean, I think Jollywood more so than Very Merry, that I was able to like get into the bubble a little bit. There's music everywhere. I feel like the whole park, everywhere you went, you felt the vibes, and that helped a lot. So I think there was a little bubble happening for the most part, but I was able to go and scene. We're done. I'm going
Right.
home now, and we're not putting up the tree any earlier. Yeah.
Oh, well, like as the tree is behind me
Mhm.
here, as we record, this is the fifth weekend of our Christmas tree.
And no judgment, whatever brings you joy.
That coincided with the Hallmark
Yes.
movie kickoff,
Yes.
as it were, which we were, immersed in.
Hmm.
Now, I will say, coming back from Walt Disney World,
Hmm.
the Tuesday after, we went through some things. We mentioned them last week. There's kind of a Toy Story watching a little bit
Hmm.
there. But then at some point, I left the room and all of a sudden I hear, "Oh, what a Merry Christmas Day." I was like, "Ooh, is that Mickey's Christmas Carol?"
Hmm.
And I'm like, "You better know that we're gonna know that's not the only time we're watching it this season. Now we got at least one more watch in there before." And she's like,
Do you
"I
hear
know,
me?
I know." You hear me? That's not our only Mickey's Christmas Carol watch. So there's some things that the old still is like,
Hmm.
oh, it's not Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
But obviously, the last 5 years, especially, we have leaned more in. And I've listened to Mrs. DiLlo tell others of like what she is very busy at the holidays,
Hmm.
uh, and so she wants to be able to enjoy
Hmm.
Christmas at home
Hmm.
with more time than she gets closer
Yeah.
to the holidays. So it's understandable and
Yeah. 100%.
obviously fully funded there
And
on
I
our
and
side.
I do think for you, it probably started 2020-ish, da 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 da. Where everyone's looking for some more joy and some things, and
Right. And I also, when I worked at Macy's Santaland,
hmm,
we started talking Christmas in September.
yeah,
And so it would creep in and it would push and pull. And
yeah,
there was one October that I had to get Santa out of Macy's and into a car to go to an event. And I'm like, it is October 15th or something. So been those times
yeah,
when I worked with Macy's that I did kind of like, oh, and
yeah,
so it started creeping in back then.
yeah,
Now it's fully
yeah.
fully realized.
I did forget one other thing this weekend. It was a lot of things this weekend. On Saturday, we took a trip to the in-laws, and sometimes we drop our dog at Mama and Papa Dillo's house
Mm.
if we're going to be gone for a while. So we did that. And so upon picking her up at night, it was probably 9:30 or so. And so I'm not paying attention to what's on TV because it's typically the same things on Mama and Papadillo's TV. It's not
Mhm.
really going to stray. And so we're sitting there. Plus, Papadillo's there, in his recliner and all that. So I'm assuming there's news on, there's sports, there's Blue
Independence
Bloods,
Day.
you know, Independence Day, Apollo 13. I don't know. It could be any of those,
Mm.
Las Vegas. But then all of a sudden I look over it and I go, what is this? Is this, are you watching a Hallmark movie right now? And they had Hallmark on, and it was the three wise men and whatever the new one is of that. I was like,
Yeah.
what? She's like, you want me to change it? I was like, no, it's fine. I'm in your house. You do whatever brings you joy. I gotta get out of here though. We gotta go home now because I can't watch this. So again, it's just circling.
Yeah. Dr. Val is talking about the mistletoe
Mm.
mysteries that are on, which is a very lengthy series on Hallmark these past 5 weeks, and agreed, it's kind of a nice filler to watch when you're
Mm.
not like, I don't want the Christmassy stuff yet. But
Yeah,
all this to say, who knows what Hallmark movies will be included in our reviews that we will be
that's true.
doing in December. We're talking about Jollywood Nights here, but there was so much that we did on our Walt Disney World meetup with everyone joining us for the ride. that we know we're not going to get to everything here over these couple of weeks. We did Very Merry Christmas Party recap last week. So December is going to be chock full of reviews. And I say no traditional theme park Thursday episodes. Who knows what might happen, really, though.
Yeah. Never say never.
I will also say, Jen, you did not put your name back in underneath your Dillo's Diz on Riverside here. So at this time, I'm going to ask you to please fill in for the content.
There was a rough start. You are usually the one with the technology issues. I had them today. It's a lot to do. A lot to get.
All right. So Jollywood Nights, we went on the first day, November 8th. It was a Saturday. We have our little pamphlet booklets, maps out, whatever you want to call them here. We're going to break down what we did at Jollywood Nights. But what we did first was go to Beaches and Cream to make sure we had a meal.
Obviously, like you do.
Yeah. It is a Dillo's Diz meetup. We've done Beaches and Cream all 3 times now. Jen's only done it twice because she couldn't do it the second time. But
some of us.
As part of the meetup, we have done it all 3 times. It is a standard now.
So now we have to every time.
And must do it every time. It is now a tradition. And so we'll be talking about that in our December reviews as well. What I liked and disliked, Jen, right out of the gate about Jollywood Nights is that it was a later arrival. So we just had the Jollywood ticket. It was a 5:30 entry. This meant we weren't in the blazing 85-degree sun for at between 3 and 4 waiting to get in. We got that nice Orlando sky magic hour situation. What did you think about the waiting to get in?
It was fine. It was fine. And yes, I agree. It was not as hot as the Magic Kingdom waiting because we were there a little bit earlier. Do I also feel like, do I like that it's a little bit later than Magic Kingdom? I don't know because I'm greedy and want some more time. So, either way there. The waiting was fine. We had gone all the way down, which I wouldn't recommend to like whatever the farthest gate you could see. And only a personal preference. I wouldn't hang out in the smoking section personally next time. But that's kind of where we ended up just because of where we were waiting. So that part I didn't love. But it was fun seeing like how many people were dressed up and how many people were coordinated and how many people were just really into all of it. I did like seeing that upon arrival in the big group.
Agreed on the smoking side. Yeah, I think, and really the later arrival thing, while fine for the temperature, and I don't necessarily mind the start at 5:30, but if I'm getting the park open to 12:30 a.m., where Very Merry is to midnight, but I can get into the Magic Kingdom at 4, but the studio's at 5:30. Is that where the price point really is coming in? Is that the
Right.
price point difference? I'm not really sure. So, that's really my only thing is agreed. I would have I think 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock would have been fine.
Yeah. But I did appreciate it because we could kind of get a later start for us on that day. We got to meet up with our friends Tom and Michelle from the Hyperion Adventures podcast. We got to go to Beaches and Cream and kind of take our time a little bit and eat. And it was a little later than we had ate before Mickey's Very Merry, where, we were all a little hungry by earlier in the night. So it kind of, there's pros and cons to all of it.
Yeah. Pros and cons. So once we were inside, again, it's an interesting crowd flow situation where they want you to kind of go to the right. And, it's really what's really exciting to me on a couple of levels here is one, it was a reminder, as much as I've been there plenty of times since that I started my employment as a cast member at the studios when the studios were decorated for Christmas, right? So we're at 30 years ago this month that my training at the studios was decorated for Christmas. So it's definitely like nostalgia central for me. But it was also the first time I was backstage at any part of the studios in 25 years, which also just going to the right, I'm not looking at any of the photo ops at all. I'm not paying attention to a lick of it. I'm like, oh yeah, over there, and that way you go there, and this way you go over here, and then I was just like so excited to be in that area for just a little while because I was briefly in the backstage space. Like
Yeah.
what a nerd.
But we also, later on, when we talk about some character meet and greets, perhaps of a little stop we did, there's also a little peek backstage over there too, where I know that both of us were like, what's back there? Let me see. What is it? What do you still got up back there? So no, I get that, seeing the backstage again. You probably should have just sat there the whole time, like, no, I'm fine here, thank you. I'm just gonna sit.
I mean, that's
right
what I
there."
do in Toy Story Land the whole time, where I'm just like, right here is the trailer where I would have to pick up my costume.
Yeah.
And the decision was made early on. Again, we were like, make sure we get a group photo. So, which was good because it allowed us to kind of go with take in some of the vibes right away, go down Sunset, kind of sit around on Hollywood Boulevard just so everyone could gather, and then made our way over to the lake where Gertie is over on that side, and take a picture by the tree. And I guess what I have, one thing we haven't mentioned is with Jollywood that, the photo pass was free. And like, it boggled my mind a little bit why on my Disney experience, I was like, why can't I access the pictures we took by the tree? And it was because it was before the start time of the party. And I'm like, Disney, get it together. I have the ticket. I'm at the party. Why can't I just see it without the time? Like, now, keep in mind, we know people, so it worked out fine. But I'm like, you know what my ticket is. Why can't you connect the dots of this picture is part of my experience?
And most people are coming in early. They're not waiting until the start time of the party to get in here and do things. So why everything should be aligned.
Yeah. We are recording this episode at DillosDisResorts.com. We got a lot of the community core members in the chat this evening. Lewis with a great point to, can I bring this up? Have I learned how to do this on Riverside yet? Life hint, have a job in college years that you want to go back to. I never really want to see the prep area of Wendy's again in my life.
Fair.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
And it really, and I run all the emotions on it, because even I came up in our Epcot day too. I don't remember who brought it up, but I did like one training day or something in Epcot. Oh, maybe you were talking about it too, Jen, of have you ever parked over behind Test Track in that area? And I had. And like I always say, it's usually because I would do takeout Chinese food from the China Pavilion. And so like all that stuff comes up. And obviously a nighttime parade always does it at MK. Because I'm like, how did I never do Spectro Magic? Just because I wanted to go home and whatever. Or didn't want whatever the reasons were. And, but yeah, with the studios of just, again, walking around there, holidays, a little bit backstage, all the things, really set the tone. But we made the choice to go over to Rise of the Resistance because we knew the wait time was low and we could knock it out real quick.
Yeah, and you never know with Rise, especially when it's going to go down, if it's going to go down, how long it will be down. So we had to, especially having that time where everything hasn't officially started yet, the wait times weren't too bad. Let's see what we can knock out. And so that was our first stop.
Yeah, and I think as we go through this, I feel like I will repeat myself and say, I can't believe we got on as many attractions as we did, because that's not what I was thinking. And it's not, the studios doesn't have a lot of attractions. Not about that.
It's a half-day park.
But it was like, okay, I got to make sure I get to the shows. I want to do all the things. So obviously, and the crowd is unpredictable. And so when we came out of Rise of the Resistance, there was kind of a push and pull that happened where that could have been the moment for Life Day Chewbacca. But the idea of going all the way back to the back corner of the park and then working out of that seemed cumbersome. And so we kind of made the choice of, well, let's move towards trying to do one of these shows. We thought it was going to be the Nightmare Before Christmas sing-along, which was mobbed. Ended up being and I want to make sure I say the name of this show right, but the name of the show is The Disney Holidays in Hollywood. Disney Holidays in Hollywood.
What is your malaprop for it?
Well, it was my glasses that were holding me up. I didn't know if it was going to be a holiday or holidays. I was gonna say the Muppets in Hollywood.
Yeah, there you go. The Muppets Christmas? I don't know.
Christmas. Breaking news, the Muppets were here on Broadway, albeit ever so briefly, and it didn't work out. But not because of the Muppets, I don't think, from what I've heard.
We need to get Adam. Where is he? We're waiting on him always. He saw the show, and we need a review from him.
Adam, who was in New York City while the meetup was happening.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
2. Back in New York City, doesn't tell anybody. He's in Manhattan.
Again, like back-to-back weekends.
Yeah. What?
You hear us, Adam? I know you hear us.
We know you're listening. But yeah, it didn't work out with the Muppets, and I've heard so many things. But I will share. I think I don't know if Mrs. DIllo brought it home yet, but I do have a playbill with the Muppet bios and whatnot, and then the headshots are chef's kiss, from what I hear. So we went to the theater there. That theater, I have not been over there. Theater of the Stars in forever, and to see the Muppets this time around. So again, when I walked in there, I was like, this theater is huge. I didn't remember it being that big, but. What did you think overall of the Disney holidays in Hollywood?
I agree about the theater, but I do feel like I do remember it being a big theater, but I have not been back there in forever. And I also, when I go back towards that way, I go, so wait, how do you get to Fantasmic from here? And I know a lot of people are yelling at me as I say that, but I'm like, what do you do? What happens back here? So much happens back here. But the show itself, I really enjoyed, because to me, it kind of gave me all the things I love in one place. Like, I'm in Disney already. You got some, Disney princesses involved. You got the Muppets involved. You have a little variety song and dance happening, like I'm on top of the world at the Contemporary back in the 90s. You have a lot of elements at play that speak to me and my New York Disney loving soul. Like, I don't know. I just felt like it brought everything together. I appreciate it. I wasn't sure what to expect fully. Like, I didn't really look into much again about whatever I had seen here and there last year, which who remembers last year, because I have no, but like, I didn't look into anything before going into it, because I kind of wanted to just experience it all. So I was like, how many Muppets will be involved? Is it a whole thing? I had no idea what to expect. So, but for me, I'm like, I really like this. I also just, and I mean, this is kind of an overall comment, but I really liked how Jollywood planned out their shows and did their shows, because I felt like you weren't pressured to see one at a certain time. You had the ability to see them when you could, when you wanted. You could space things out. You could hop around. You could see something more than once. I liked that, the availability of all the shows and all of the events happening around the park. And I think it makes for a better experience, because you're not like, oh, well, it's 8:30. I have to see the show. I really wanted to see this one. If we don't get in, like, I didn't really want to, I don't care about anything else happening tonight or whatever. You can see it for the next day.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the difference between the shows in the studios and the castle shows at Magic Kingdom, where not so scary. You kind of like, you don't get to see the Sanderson sisters too often. And you feel like there wasn't that kind of hook for the Magic Kingdom castle shows, where Kermit and Piggy are a hook for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you got. Let me say something about Belle and this Christmas song. It is another trigger for me because it's right towards the end of my time as a cast member, where that another holidays at the studios working was that song on repeat all the time. So much with that Belle Christmas song.
Yeah.
So again, when you see it and it like hits you, like, oh man, this is the studios right here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna praise the Muppets. It's inevitable, but a great use of Kermit and Miss Piggy in this format. Could it have been more? It could have been. Should we see more things like this with the use of Kermit and Miss Piggy in the parks? 100,000%. Like, keep finding ways to do this. And so yeah, enjoyable and agreed. The variety aspect of it, Tiana number, Mickey and Minnie number, so you kind of get that, again, as a classic Disney stage show that I feel like a lot of those two you're used to just seeing at the castle now, where it used to be like all over. The Tomorrowland Theater used to do something like that, and so just to see that again, and maybe we don't see them as often too, so we're not paying attention. But and a great time to see it. Really, since it was the first one of the season, there was a little technical like, is the show going to finish? But they rebounded and pulled it through to the end.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's done a deep dive on what happened, what went on in that moment, but there was a slight delay. But yeah, they finished. We did consider maybe going back to see it again to be like, so what happens during that point?
Right.
But I didn't feel like I really unless something huge happens during that, I didn't feel like, oh man, I really missed out because there was that delay or anything like that. So
now this is where the timing of the night I feel like really planned out if you're a thrill seeker like some of us are. But this is where I would recommend that first show of the holidays in Hollywood, and then to be able to go to watch a little bit of the Tip Top soiree there in the courtyard at the exit of Tower of Terror. And then go on Tower of Terror immediately following. I will save the next part but let's just discuss this part for a moment. Jen, your impressions of the Tip Top soiree, that whole little experience in courtyard. I think you had a drink. I did not. But tell me your thoughts.
yeah, we didn't spend much time together there because you were afraid of them making us dance together. So we had to separate.
That's true. We did. And like, no, we're brother and sister. Jen sometimes with the photo patch, brother and sister.
I don't need cutesy photos. We barely know how to stand next to each other, but don't put us in cutesy poses.
Stay tuned for the TikTok where you just see awkward photo pass pictures of us after this little.
Frank does the lean, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do right now. Here I am.
But that was it. They were like, and they'll come out into the audience and bring you up to dance. And I was like, we're out of here. Divide, separate.
Yeah, I know that Lewis got a coffee, and Lewis, as you're in the chat, remind me, I feel like you were like seeking this coffee out or looking forward to it or had mentioned it earlier. There was something about that, so I do want to see if it lived up to that. And Lewis, is that a real thing?
Lewis, we didn't really admit what happened and why we were separated. Lewis, I wondered why you didn't stand together. I was concerned someone was mad.
We're in a big fight. I don't want to be near him anymore. I'm over it.
We're done. That's it. That's the end. That's the end of the podcast.
Yeah. It's over right here. Everyone witnessed it. What happened at the Tip Top soiree? You'll never know. But Jeffers and Lexi had gone over to get a drink. There had been a running joke this whole time where Jeffers like, drink, Jen, drink. And I was like, I don't finish my drinks. And as the group is learning, I don't. And I need someone to finish my drink. So did
Yeah.
I get a drink? Not exactly. But did I have a little bit of a drink at some point? I did, which was very nice. And it was a little rum drink and it was delicious. Lou was saying it was just Joffrey's coffee, and he has gotten a coffee there each year. So cool. It's like a little tradition for you. I like that. I, again, loved this whole thing. I loved the use of this space. It's like a space I wouldn't even think about being used this way. Like
Hmm.
anytime you exit out of Tower of Terror, you're just like on the mission to go. And so
Right.
you're not even thinking about, like, oh, this is a good amount of space back here. I loved the little jazzy Christmas tunes we were getting. I liked the fact that people could dance around. It was great to, you this is a time where they offer more beverages for adults than they
Hmm.
typically do. So I think, again, the vibe was really nice back here. And knowing that the wait for Tower wasn't that long and just to hop on there after, a bonus. So, yeah, did you like the vibe over here?
Yeah, I did, and I wonder why why don't you have this in different formats more often?
Yeah.
And a little band at the end of the night. But I think one thing that I don't know how clear it was after the band had finished the set, but we did catch a glimpse of them at the exit when we got off Tower of Terror. But two Streetmosphere characters came through kind of after to do
Hmm.
a little bit in the courtyard, and so it wasn't just about the band; it was about these characters as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we want more of this.
Hmm.
Please do more.
Yeah. I'm still laughing thinking that Lewis thought we
And
were fighting.
the-
Like, oh, clearly we didn't communicate what was happening to everybody.
yeah. Yeah, and then I was just like, I mean, and this is why Lewis probably thought, at least me, I always look
Uh-huh.
angry, right? So
Well, that's true.
at least why I was mad because it was my energy of don't pick me, don't pick me,
Yeah, like
don't
don't
pick
come
me,
near me. Don't even
don't pick
don't
me.
involve me. I don't want to.
This
Not
is
only
my
do I not want to dance with her, I don't want to dance with anybody. So don't come over here.
I'm I won't dance. Don't ask me. I'm not dancing with anybody
I will not yes and stop it.
unless Lewis is filming me from behind an Epcot. Then it's fine.
Well, that's it's barely dancing. It's just throwing our hands up. How do you not throw your hands up at that point?
You got to throw up your hands up in the air when it's the family magical. Come on. Uh, so yeah, and a walk on basically at Tower of Terror, which you gotta do,
Yeah,
and we also decided to do the Home Alone look.
yeah,
Everyone was like, "What's the pose?" That's the only Christmas pose I could think of. And like, what other poses could we come up with that
yeah,
was holiday related in that moment? I don't know.
yeah. Unless we had like a leg lamp with us, I don't know that
Oh,
we would have, gotten many
fragile.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeffers is saying, Frank, what's the opposite of yes and? No, it's not even. Listen, if they would have asked, maybe they would have gotten a dance out of me.
Yeah.
But am I gonna put the shutdown energy on? I sure am.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm not
no,
having a good time here, but I am, but I'm not.
I'm not. I mean, can I do it? Is it possible I could still swing dance? I don't know. Is it?
Hmm.
Could I? What would happen? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that was the other thing. I was like, no, don't ask me to dance, because then if I end up swing dancing, and then Jen's gonna video, and then Mrs. DIllo is gonna be angry at me for dancing, and not because I was dancing with someone,
Yeah.
just because I was dancing. Period.
Dancing. Like, oh, go to Disney and you could dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will also say on Tower of Terror, I had said on the ride, I haven't been on one that dropped that many times in a while. Like,
I feel like you say that every time. I don't know.
have we gone to the right though and not the left? Like, is that it? I don't know. The
I don't know.
last
I
time we
will
went.
say two things happened. Right, like the window did not break in the
Right.
first scene,
Right.
which was immediately weird. And
It
then
felt like we were like things weren't working for a
right,
moment. Yeah.
right. and then even when we got, and moved forward, I was like, why does this feel weird? What is happening? And, sometimes the answer is because they worked on it recently and it's in much better shape than it used to be. But not with the window breaking, but when the way the car was moving, I was like, just something doesn't feel right. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair because sometimes that car can be kind of jerky, and I'm like, I don't like how this feels. I don't think this is what should be happening.
Why is it so smooth?
Yeah. Oh, you're just going to drop us? Is that going to be okay?
So again, and we'll talk about one more ride later. That's similar, but when you got this kind of a ride that's this good, and it has that short of a wait, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Got to be done. Now, what happened next? I got to blame Lexi for. And much like your drinks, it's always good to have like Jeffers around or Lexi or like Dr. J, because they're there to support you with whatever beverages, alcoholic or not, you may be sampling.
Yeah.
What happened next? Like Lexi wore her T-shirt at Very Merry Christmas Party that said "most likely to be the instigator."
Yes.
So it's 9:30ish. We know Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam is at 10. I was like, well, we should get this. Should we get the spot? How busy is it going to be on Hollywood Boulevard? I don't know. So the thought was to move that way. And then Lexi's like, rock and roller coaster. And I was like, I don't want to mess up. Like rock and roller coaster, I really need to hydrate that one. My head gets messed up a lot. And she's like, but it's going to be the last time you're on with Aerosmith. And I was like, son of a God.
Yeah.
Oi, we're going to go on rock and roller coaster now. That's how I felt it. I'm like, oi.
Yeah, because when we were walking off of Tower and it was mentioned, you were like, no, I'm not doing that. And you guys had walked ahead. You see, the instigators got you. And they walked with you ahead. And so by the time I got up, you're like, well, they just made a really good point. Yeah.
Well, I've been rewatching Ted Lasso anyway, but to stay away from too much Christmas. But there's I can't repeat the word he says, but when basically Jamie like admits to Roy, like he told Keeley that he loves her at the funeral, at the wake afterwards or whatever it was, and like he's like, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. I shouldn't have said it, but I did, and just complete honesty, and Roy knows he's being honesty, and he just drops that F-bomb with the I love it so much. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That was a tangent. Everybody, tangent for the
Tangents.
We're staying too on track with this episode.
We're trying.
So rock and roller coaster it was. Jen, you were with Val watching the Fiesta with Jose Carioca, and no pics with Jose Carioca.
No.
And there was like some salsa dancing going on there in the courtyard of Rock and Roller Coaster.
There was, yes. Me and
But you
Val was having a lovely conversation, and someone had to take a picture of my skirt to Google it. I was busy, So
A side note about your outfit. As I was scrolling through after coming back last week, and I was like, oh, here's Aunt Jen with the character we'll mention in a second. And the 9-year-old goes, loving her outfit.
9-year-old. Big praise. I am very appreciative of that. I mean, between her and the 8-year-old, I gotta watch what I'm doing, and so I appreciate that feedback. Thank you.
Loving her outfit. So to say that with Rock and Roller Coaster, kind of like Cosmic Rewind, I need to sing along. I like Aerosmith. I like Aerosmith. I like roller coasters. Hello. In the name of all that rocks, let's hit it. I need to sing along. So that's my success on Cosmic Rewind is determined by, can I sing along to the song? We'll get into Cosmic Rewind in December. So here I'm expecting like Sweet Emotion or Walk This Way or Love in an Elevator. All the songs I've gotten in the 25 years of riding this attraction. I still don't know which Aerosmith song I had. I don't know if I had Nine Lives. I don't know if I had Young Lust. I don't know if I had Fine. I played all three of them earlier today, and they're all similar. But I'm also like, it was so low on the speaker that I don't know what song I was listening to,
So
which
you couldn't
made my
sing along.
no, I couldn't sing along, which was fine. I still got through it, but it also made my last Aerosmith ride a little
Where you're like,
disappointing.
good, I'm glad you're going.
Yeah, bring
Yeah.
on Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
I have a question. Because I haven't done the rock and roller coaster in probably 20 years or so. And knowing what a big deal Guardians is with the songs, everyone talks about what song did you get with Guardians? Has this been a thing with rock and roller coaster? I don't recall this being a similar thing with what song you get with the ride like it is for Guardians.
Right, it is I feel like it's a much bigger deal, and maybe it's because it's different artists and different songs. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if that's part of it. The, and again, when this attraction came out, like the Aerosmith was on such a run during the 90s
Mm-hmm.
that it's still even surprising which songs remained. Like the fact that you never got Living on the Edge or anything Dream On,
Mm-hmm.
like it just seemed like maybe Dream On was one of them. I don't know, but I felt like I never got it. But
Mm-hmm.
there's so many songs that could have been used that weren't, that I think may have made it seem less old over time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big part of it, is that, yeah, sure, the band's not really performing anymore
Mm-hmm.
together or at all,
Mm-hmm.
but the you know the library of songs, I think, could have given it a little more rewritability over
Mm-hmm.
the years.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
But and for that, Cosmic Rewind also needs more songs.
Mm-hmm.
They need to figure that out. Not that you're ever going on it again, Jen.
I'm good.
Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, which I had not seen in 7.5 years, probably. I barely remember it. Again, I feel like I was still new to understanding projections.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think in general, it's very underrated how good the projections are on
Mm-hmm.
the Chinese theater. Just what they can get up there is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's just the blanketed Christmas presents look and the
Mm-hmm.
Jollywood graphics, or this show, it's really impressive how they can use the different air sections of the theater
Mm-hmm.
to create a memorable show, I guess.
Yeah. No, I thought it was really cute. I thought it was fun. I like to see, for us, back in our day when there were fireworks and things going on at the studios all the time. I like when there's things going on at the studios, and it has
Yeah.
been cool to, in the last few years as you're leaving, like going, oh wait, what's going on over there? What are they projecting? I feel like sometimes I miss what's happening or don't think about it to sit and watch it or whatever, because there was such a time period where they weren't doing anything,
Yeah.
that sometimes I forget. So it was nice to see this back up and running. Ryan is saying he believes on Rockin' in the car you get. Wait, the car you get in clues you into the song you will get. Interesting. This is a whole thing that I feel so out of the loop on, and I saw Val mention that she didn't even realize either. I never realized any of this about Rock and Roller
No,
Coaster.
I don't. I mean, it opened when I was still working there, and I
Yeah.
don't think I realized that.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, here's the thing. While you were saying all of that, people are like, Phantasmic is a thing that happens at the end of every night, and
Right.
I maybe someday will need to really truly deep dive my whole time. Like I have some. I'm
Trauma.
against Phantasmic.
Okay.
I'm just angry about it. But what I don't like compared to the end of the night at Epcot or the end
Mm-hmm.
of the night at Magic Kingdom is it's still about the center of the park, those two
Mm-hmm.
parks to me. So that, whether it was Sorcery in the Sky or what, there was always, that was the end of the night, should be in the center of the park. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real true traditionalist in me. So I understand why Fantasmic has to be the way it's set up over there. It's in the old cast member parking lot from the 90s. But
Somewhere over there. Who knows?
so that's where the space was.
Yeah.
In hindsight, at the time you couldn't knock down Catastrophe Canyon and put Fantasmic over there.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't seem to. That's probably where it could have been.
Yeah.
And maybe you couldn't even put it by Indiana Jones because they would just send you out to the parking lot right there too. You would do the same thing. So it couldn't be over there.
Yeah.
But where it is, I feel like, and some people may argue like, well, if Tower of Terror is the icon and you're coming out over that way and you're on Sunset at the end of the night, okay, that's your argument, fine. I don't know. There's something that just makes me feel I need to be in the center of the park at the end of the night.
Yeah, no, I get that because like you're being brought to this theater, and I do need to give Fantasmic another shot. Not that I ever had anything against it. I think I have a similar feeling of I don't want to go all the way over there. I don't want to like go and like sit in a thing, and I don't know. But there is something about it that never brought me back. I do, anytime I see videos of it and stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, and I do want to go, and I'm sure the kids would like it, and so I do need to maybe add that to a future trip. But I also disagree that, Tower of Terror is the icon. So, there's a lot of differing opinions, and that's okay.
So with the end of Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, you feel the time ticking away suddenly. You're past the halfway mark of the event, and you're going, "Wah!" So and I felt like everyone got like, what am I gonna? I gotta do the things I want to do.
Yeah.
So you were very much like, I need to see what the Bing Bong line is like.
Yeah.
Which it was Bing Bong's official first night in Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
I had seen him in Disneyland in Pixar Places lobby on the last day in Disneyland. Um, Lexi was about the treats, so she needed to seek out a macaroon or something like that. I don't mean to disregard it that way.
Literally don't know.
I
So,
don't know what it is. I don't know. I should look up. And then, and so there were, and I kind of was like, I know they got that merch shop set up. What is there, over by the Mickey Shorts Theater, and which was just all Ollie the Gingerbread Man, merchandise, and which I wasn't into, so I was very in and out. I waited in the line longer than I was in the actual shop to get through. But the Bing Bong line wasn't too bad.
no, and I love how you're like, I wasn't into all of that. Meanwhile, I was like, who is this? Who is this? What is he? Oh,
We discussed Ollie years ago on the.
yeah, da, 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 da. No, I don't. Yes, the Bing Bong line. Well, first, walking up, I was like, oh, it's really not bad. Then seeing, oh, they're pulling people to this section from over here, but still not horrible. However, once we got online, Bing Bong, had to go check on the other emotions. Probably, I don't know what his excuse was, but he took a little break for a bit before coming back out. So that made it feel a little longer than we were expecting. But this is what I was talking about earlier, too, as we were waiting online and getting closer to Bing Bong. Where Bing Bong comes out, there's a little peek into the backstage, kind of. And I was like, you still got some of that New York Street up? What is that? What is that back there? It looks a little New York Streety. What's happening? Where does this go? And where does this lead? I want to be back there.
Well, and that's right. At one point, I pivoted myself, or like a pivot. I turned myself a little bit to I'm like, because when they did that whole area of this Galaxy's Edge entrance, in line with the Muppet Theater, between Sci-Fi and what is now that Pixar Boulevard, whatever that Pixar area is, right? So that's a whole big chunk of backstage space, which went alongside the old New York Street and Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, all the way that way. So that space is still there. And yeah, it's my guess that they still have trailers back there, because I know that I used to break in trailers back there for years because Woody and Buzz, they did sets everywhere in that park. They did sets in Muppets Courtyard across from Pizza Planet before it was Pizza Planet. They did New York Street. They did the front of the park. They did over on where it was Mickey Avenue, and now it's Pixar Place, whatever that road is, whatever you're calling that. So Woody and Buzz broke everywhere in the backstage spaces, and even in at the end of the queue of the backstage studio tour, we like everything. So I presume that there's just trailers still back there where
Yeah.
Bing Bong can visit the other emotions,
Exactly.
and exactly. And so it was funny that the line then was kind of queuing into the Galaxy's Edge entrance a little bit, but still not that bad. It wasn't still
No.
that long of a wait.
And then it ended up because, Val and I had discussed, oh my God, we need to meet Bing Bong. And so it was the two of us and you and Jeffers in the photo. There's a great picture of you and Bing Bong where you had just stepped up to Bing Bong, and it's just awkward. And you know what? Rightfully so, because Bing Bong knows. Bing
I
Bong
was so
knows.
mad. I saw the flash go off, and I'm like, I know I'm not in the right pose for this.
But you know what? You're not in the right pose when you watch the movie either. Because you don't get into it, and you don't feel what the unconditional love that Bing Bong gives Riley.
For the record, I appreciate Inside Out as a movie, just like I appreciate The Animal Kingdom. Okay.
How dare you put it on the same playing field like that? What?
I digress. But to this
We'll
side,
get into that another time.
I mean, if one had to be, I'm sure most of the group, and Val would agree too, I'm sure, is that Bing Bong was the preference over Life Day Chewy. So I was just happy to see Life Day Chewy. And again, I didn't think I'd get to walk all the way back that way on the,
Yeah.
and anytime I'm in studios, I'm like, how am I not going to go see the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah.
But didn't have to go on the ride, but just to see the Falcon is nice.
Oh, yeah.
It was also interesting to see how well hidden the Mandalorian and Grogu queue was. They like really tucked that in a cave back there. But to see Chewie in open space enough and to take a decent picture.
In his Life Day garb was really cool. And I mean, that would be a question for Val, who is in the chat of, is she okay with the fact that she saw Bing Bong and then the line for Chewie was so long? Because the line for Chewie was what, like 40 minutes,
She
maybe?
was over the cast member was overestimating at
Yeah.
30 to 40 minutes, which is about 15 to 20 minutes more than I wanted to hear.
Yeah, yeah. But no, it was cool to see. I do think they need some Christmas lights on that Falcon. I think a little string light situation would do wonders. But agreed, at the same time, the vibes in that area at night are so good on its own. But a little sparkle on the Falcon for Christmas, that never hurt anybody.
Yeah, I wonder, like, they got to get an Imagineer on it of how they expand Life Day celebrations and how that means what that means for the park. Like, is it little, almost like Rapunzel, like, the lantern things? Like, I feel like it's
Right.
that simple,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not for me to decide, but I feel like it could use a little. Again, agreed. The vibes. I'll walk through Galaxy's Edge at night thousands of times over.
Yeah.
It's so good. But we were creeping after 11. There was an 11:30 Nightmare Before Christmas sing along with a pretty empty theater. Which was at least like until 5 minutes before, and then everyone piled in. But it is a great time to see that show. Is later, and that's what I hear about the shows in general. Is like just wait for the later shows.
Yeah.
But an interest, and Lewis was like, it's interesting. And I was like, okay, and it was interesting, very different than the Frozen sing along, and very with you got the Jack Skellington puppet, which I think is tremendous. They shown it, Not So Scary. It's so awesome. And then they had two performers who are they dreaming? Are they not dreaming? Are they and going through the songs of the movie, kind of like in an interpretive performance. I don't want to say dance. It's choreographed. It's staged. What have you? Jen, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were going to do a full focused thing on this for our 24 days, so I didn't
Yeah.
want to repeat.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't go crazy with it. I just wanted, like, what was your initial?
Yeah, I think I do recall Val and Lewis being like, "Have you heard anything about this?" And again, I didn't look
Yeah.
into anything beforehand,
Right.
so I didn't know anything. And been to the Frozen sing-along plenty, so I was like, I mean, they'll probably just... I've also been to the Beauty and the Beast sing-along
Oh,
in
have you? Oh,
Epcot.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did that. I feel like the kids were little. I don't know. I feel like the 8-year-old was pretty small. Or maybe it was a 2021 trip, but again, of course, she was still small then because it's been 4 years. Um, so maybe around there. But, and I recall it being like, it's definitely different than the Frozen show because the Frozen show is so
Yeah.
much more than that,
Yeah.
which is fine. So I was like, well, those are the two sing-alongs I know of in the park. So I
Yeah.
don't know what to expect outside of that. So it was definitely different, but I liked that it was different. I liked that they did. I like that they almost like took a risk in doing it, and yes, seeing the puppet was awesome. And for me, there have been ebbs and flows of that movie throughout the years with the kids, of them
Hmm.
getting really into it, and so that music for me, I know all the songs, and
Yeah.
it's fun. I didn't find that crowd to be that much of a singing crowd, but perhaps the earlier ones were. I don't know, but
Right.
that was
Yeah.
interesting too.
And I think that's something we can definitely dive into
Yeah.
on a longer form of it. Yeah, I want to talk more about Nightmare Before Christmas in general,
Yeah.
and so that'll be something we do in December. But agreed that I think it was late in the night. The crowd was in various degrees of tired,
Yeah. Yes.
and that was part of it. I know that as the show was winding down, I was like, all right, I think we have time to just walk right over to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's going to be a walk on. We'll
Yeah.
just get on, and that'll be it. We can go down and shop a little and get out, right a little bit after closing time at 12:30. So that's what we did. Speaking of rewritability and things like that, listen, I enjoy being on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I don't know if it's still because I picture the movie ride while I'm in it. But I do wonder about some of the scenes and whether it can change over time to include different things in the future.
Yeah.
That's where I am with some of the screens. But then following Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, we're kind of in the standing on the handprints there outside the theater. And walking a little bit and going, what we didn't talk about was we only kind of saw the ice skating stuff in front of
Yeah.
the theater. So it was brief. It was in passing. But then the instigator, Lexi, she mentions, can't get on Slinky Dog. And like, man, it's too bad we can't get on Slinky Dog.
Yeah.
And so I kind of give Jeffers a papadillo of like, how long's the wait? And Jeffers, in his very Coach Beardness, goes, 10 minutes. And all I remember doing, and I'm exhausted at this point, is I just remember doing one of these. And let's go.
Yeah.
and we were off to Toy Story Land. And with, I think it was at this point, like almost 12:18, going toward like a 5-minute walk. Like we had like 12 minutes to get to Slinky Dog. So the night was capped with a ride on Slinky Dog Dash.
Yeah, which, I feel like times we've done Slinky Dog in recent years have been at night. Like I recall us going on with Lewis that one night, and so yeah, there were 6 of us for one. I feel like it was 12:30 when we were on it. Yeah, so to finish off the night, and Slinky Dog at night is always really cool with everything lit up, with seeing, backstage a little bit or seeing Galaxy's Edge a little bit. And I always feel like once you get to those top peaks, it's like, oh, it always feels a little bit higher at night. No, it's just a little bit higher at the nighttime, but it's a good ride and a good way to finish off the night. And I didn't expect to go on that many rides, quite honestly.
No.
So like it was all worked out very well.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that's hard about Very Merry.
Yeah.
Is now that they've added these kind of extra attractions with overlays, in the right way, it does spread you out, but it does make it hard to hit everything just right.
Yeah.
And with Jollywood, I feel like, Oh no, we timed every. I mean, I think Lexi saw Partysaurus Rex at some
Mm-hmm.
point, and
Yes.
we didn't get over to the Pixar dance party.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not food driven, treat driven,
Yeah.
in general.
Mm-hmm.
So this night was paced to how we like to see the parks, I
Yeah, for
think.
sure. Yeah. I do, as seeing some of the characters that were at the Pixar dance party, I was like, "Oh, probably should have gone in and, dance a little bit with some of them, but for the content, of course. But,
Yeah,
yeah, but
for the content.
I agree.
Lewis is saying, I wasn't even thinking about Christmas
Hmm.
touches on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, but that's a great point. That I
Yeah,
think
yeah, for
that
sure.
would be an easy thing to do
Good
for the
little
holidays.
overlay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh, Jen, if you had to pick one of these two parties, if you only could pick one to see in the next time around, right? Because here's the thing: is that there's a couple of things.
Hmm.
You can experience the vibes at night in both of these parks because
Hmm.
the sun sets early,
Hmm.
so you're gonna get the vibes.
Yeah.
The Magic Kingdom price point is close to that 1 day ticket Magic
Hmm.
Kingdom price point. So yeah, you're likely to do a 4 day pass or something like that if you're with the family, whatever.
Hmm.
But if you're just thinking, oh, I'm just here for the day, and you're thinking about the price point of MK compared to the Very Merry Party, they're close together.
Hmm.
Where Jollywood, a little bit more
Hmm.
than a 1 day at Studios, and you're getting more than I think you get during a day at the Studios.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's worth that. To me, that's the question: is the studios, is Jollywood worth it because what you're paying a little bit more for, you're actually getting at the party?
Hmm. No, I think, okay, I mean, in Disney math, I think both parties are worth it. I think they are different parties. I think they provide different things. They have different pros about them. I I felt more vibes outside of Main Street from Jollywood overall. I
Hmm.
do like how they spaced out the night. I do like that for me, and probably the size of the park too. It
Yeah.
allows you to kind of go from here to there or be able to mix it. And I think because of, I don't know, I'm all over the place with it, but
Yeah.
I think it makes it so that we can have a mix of attractions and shows, which I was not expecting going into it. And we were
Right.
able to have that nice mix. And there's experiences at Jollywood that make me feel a little more nostalgic for old school Disney. So I
Hmm.
like that. I mean, I had said to Mr. Snydillo, you know, I had initially texted him during the parade at Very Merry, but then I said after, like, I feel like the kids would like either party and they're different things. And so for me, I think it all depends on what you're going for. But if you can experience both, you should totally experience
Yeah.
both just to
Yeah.
have. Like, I don't know that I could necessarily, at this point, maybe I would pick one over the other. And maybe it would be Jollywood for a party's sake, because to me, I felt like it provided more in a, this is a special event than
Mm.
Magic Kingdom did. To your point, for Magic Kingdom, I can get the vibes on a different night.
Yeah.
I'm just not seeing the special parade. But otherwise,
Right.
I'm kind of getting the same vibe. So I could do that. So for me, at this point, I could pick. But if someone was like, I don't know, should we do both? I'd be like, yeah, do both.
Yeah.
If you can do it,
Yeah.
then do both.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Agreed.
I don't know. I'm all over.
Agreed. And and on Lewis's point, which is solid, is that if you're putting up Very Merry Christmas Party against Not So Scary, I
Mhm.
think, and again, especially if you like candy and you're just getting candy all night,
Right.
like, but that Very Merry pales a little bit to Not So Scary. I totally see where that's coming from. Again, is the Halloween vibes not 100% me? It can be in many ways a stronger party for the guest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Yeah.
it'll be hard for me, especially since 3 of the last 4 times I've been to the Magic Kingdom have been for a party,
Hmm.
to say, well, if I'm just going to go down for a couple of days, then maybe I would do it the same way in say, December of party, Epcot Day. Animal Kingdom Day. I don't know.
Yeah, and I do agree. Like, not so scary versus very merry. There's definitely differences there. And I think it's really a matter of like, what do you want? For me, going into Not So Scary the first time, I was like, it'll be cool, and we'll see the parade. We're not big Halloween people, but hey, we still get to go on the rides because you can get into the park early, and like, so the wait times will probably be down. And to me, in my head, I had like, oh, this will be a good experience for the attractions, and we'll get some Halloween thrown in. Cool. And so I think if you're looking for that, like, it is kind of a great way to experience the parks, whether you're fully in or not, because you have the option of getting on some of the attractions with lower wait times, and you have different experiences. I know that Lewis mentioned, MK feels like the after the normal stuff they do, and Jollywood feels different than any other thing. And yeah, there is definitely a difference with the vibes and what they're providing and the shows they're doing, and I like it all.
Here's my one beef. Like last week, I had a beef with with the pop music at Magic Kingdom during the Very Merry Christmas Party, which I was fine with, but it was like kind of jolting to hear pop music at the Very Merry Christmas Party. Over by Bing Bong, they were like playing your favorite hits of the 80s, 90s, and today. I was like, what's happening over here? It's a Christmas party. So don't do that. But before we wrap up, I just want to point out this little pamphlet thing. Make sure if you get the Jollywood Nights map pamphlet thing, just make sure you read about all the food options. There's so many food options in here.
And
so
at
many.
Magic Kingdom too, apparently, according to TikTok that I found today.
But I feel like it is way more than Magic Kingdom, and maybe I have to line the two up and really see. But when I opened this up and looked at it, I was like, there is a lot of food options.
Yeah.
And Val had said earlier, she can't believe that we didn't snack more. Listen, we're rides and we're vibes. Rides and vibes. That's a t-shirt.
That's a t-shirt.
Rides and vibes.
I was thinking of the Brown Derby too. I'm like, oh, I can't believe we didn't make it to the Brown Derby. I feel like that was a thing that we had talked about so much, but.
And I heard it in passing a couple of times, but it's still kind of like, getting over there and knowing you get to spend time and things like that. But speaking of food, next week, the next Theme Park Thursday is Thanksgiving Day.
What is time?
What is time? So I think our next episode of Theme Park Thursday, we're gonna talk about some food and some things, and maybe have a little gathering. We'll talk about it more as we move into the next Theme Park Thursday. But of course, you can find us in all the places, on the Facebooks and the X's and the Instas and the TikToks and the Blue Sky and the Threads. I don't even have those apps on my phone anymore. And you can sub to us on YouTube, where we're a YouTube partner, and trying to figure out how best to utilize our YouTube, since we say that every year, and then it's sort of. But Jen, anything else before we go?
Oh, goodness. No, I'm looking forward to our 24 reviews in 24 days in December, because I feel like we'll be, as much as we can be, a little more focused, and I maybe will have some more thoughts on certain things that might remind me here and there. But no, I mean, overall, Jollywood, good vibes.
Good vibes, and I know that we were on a plane less than 12 hours after the end of Jollywood Nights, and we talked about, it's like, is the party the best way to end a meetup? It's hard to say, because I feel like no. The answer is no. I don't know. It's like going out on a high note. Slinky Dog, late night walk out of the studios. Come on.
Yeah, that's good, but no.
We'll talk more about this along the way. Until next time, she's Jen, and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces. The Dillo's Diz podcast is hosted by Frank Cardillo and Jen Cardillo Snyder. Music produced by Matt Harvey. Logos and video production courtesy of Snydillo Studios. DIllo's Diz Resort is our Patreon with tiers starting as low as $1 per month. You can visit DillosDizResort.com to learn more. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, X Twitter, and Facebook at DIllo's Diz. Check us out on YouTube by visiting youtube.com/DillosDiz. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there. We also have merch available on TeePublic and Etsy. For all this and more, visit our one-stop shop, DillosDiz.com. DIllo's Diz Podcast 2025.